How do you get a pardon in Canada fast? That's what I'm going to cover in this video. I'm Dan Joffe, lawyer at NextLaw, Canada's only law firm dedicated to pardons and U.S. waivers. Let's get your application done right. Let's get it done at a reasonable cost. So, one of the most common questions we get at our law firm is, how can I get a pardon in Canada fast? Unfortunately, there is no way to fast track your pardon application. But if you focus on document preparation and eligibility timing, you'll get your pardon sooner and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with it. You may save yourself months, maybe even a year. Let me explain how. Here are 5 things you need to know about getting a pardon in Canada fast. First, the Parole Board of Canada controls your pardon timeline. To understand how to get your pardon in Canada fast, you need to know who controls the pardon process. Pardons, also known as record suspensions, are governed by the Parole Board of Canada. The Parole Board of Canada is the only government body responsible for everything to do with pardons. And it is the Parole Board of Canada that will decide the timing of when you get your pardon. 2, there are no exceptions for urgent situations. There is no way to jump the line to get your pardon application processed sooner. That is true even if you have an urgent situation. For example, you may need a pardon fast to get a job, a promotion, or volunteer work, or you may need to travel to the United States for your job or for family reasons. Unfortunately, no matter how urgent your situation is, the Parole Board of Canada will not make an exception to its processing timeline. Your pardon will be considered in the order that it is received and accepted for processing. 3, your pardon will be granted within 6 months or 12 months. The Parole Board of Canada has committed to timelines on how long it will take to process and grant your pardon. These timelines will only start assuming you are, first, eligible for a pardon, and second, that your application is complete. Specific timing depends on the severity of the conviction for which you are seeking a pardon. The Parole Board of Canada will process less serious convictions, known as summary offenses, within 6 months. And more serious convictions, which are known as indictable offenses, will be processed within 12 months. There is, however, one exception to this 6-month or 12-month timeline. If the Parole Board of Canada plans to refuse your pardon, it may take up to 24 months to process your application. That extended period is needed to give you time to respond and explain why you believe they are wrong in refusing your pardon. 4, get your pardon faster by focusing on document preparation and eligibility timing. To get your pardon fast, you need to understand important timelines. First is the time it takes to prepare your pardon, and second is the time it takes to process your pardon. Processing your pardon is controlled by the Parole Board of Canada, and there is nothing that you can do to make the move faster. But what is under your control is the timing involved in preparing your pardon. By focusing on the preparation stage, you can maximize the speed of when you get your pardon. And if you plan right, you can get your pardon at the earliest time possible. This timing can save you many months, in some cases up to a year. Let me explain. Your pardon application requires significant document preparation. Your documents need to be perfectly prepared, and that preparation takes time, anywhere between 3 and 12 months. This lengthy period has to do with getting documentation from the RCMP, then the courts, and finally the local police. These authorities are busy, so getting on their to-do list in a timely manner and in the right sequence is critical. So the sooner you begin this preparation process, the sooner you can apply and the sooner you can get your pardon and peace of mind. We recommend that our law firm clients begin preparation about 1 year before they are eligible. 5, Apply for your pardon as soon as you are eligible, but not any time earlier. Once you have all your pardon documentation, check it over and ensure it is accurate and complete. And send your application to the Parole Board of Canada as soon as you are eligible. Do not wait. But don't send in your application before your eligibility date. If you apply too soon, or if your application is incomplete, the Parole Board of Canada will reject your application, and your pardon will be delayed if you make those mistakes. So you have to get both your documentation and your timing right. To conclude, while you can't fast track your pardon, you can speed up the timing by focusing on document preparation and eligibility timing. If you time it right, you will get your pardon at the earliest possible time and get the peace of mind you deserve. Doing this will save you months and in some cases up to a year. Finally, the biggest success factor in getting your pardon or U.S. waiver is getting your application right. Mistakes will cost you time and in some cases rejection. We are Canada's only law firm dedicated to pardons and U.S. waivers. Let's get your application done right for a reasonable cost. Click on the link below to schedule a free, no obligation call.